Hello students, welcome to the discussion on UPSC Mains PYQs, and today we shall be discussing question on geography from 2023 question paper. So let's start. Our question is, comment on the resource potentials of long coastline of India. This is the first part. Second is, highlight the status of natural hazard preparedness in these areas. So basically our question is asking two things. So our body will contain two things, that is, first, resource potential of India's coastline, and second is the status of natural hazard preparedness. So, first of all, what is the meaning of resource potential? It does not mean that what are the resources available there. Resource potential of any region means the capacity of any region to produce those resources either today or in the future. So it refers to the capacity, not the present availability. So first of all, you have to write what is the capacity of the coastlines of India. Okay, and second thing, you have to discuss the status. So status, you have to discuss the positives also and some of the gaps, that is negatives also. It's not like you will just keep on writing the government schemes and efforts taken. You have to analyze also, but not analyze in detail, because the directive is to highlight. It's not to discuss or analyze. So you will write the steps taken, and in short you can mention that these are some of the gaps and you have to take some of the steps. So this is what the question is asking. Now, so this will be the part of your body. And since it's geography question, so I have already discussed that you have to include locational aspect also. This will be the part of your body. Now, coming to the introduction. So the question is on the coastlines of India. So you can start with the Indian coastline. Various regions of Indian coastline or length of Indian coastline. And since the question is asking about the resource potential, so in introduction you can write about the resource potential in brief. That what all resources are available or can be generated in these regions in brief. Also, in the introduction only you can include that since India has very big coastline, so India is also vulnerable to some of the natural hazards, that is floods, cyclones, etc. So in any of these manner you can prepare your intro. So you can include the natural hazard also. Now, so this was the body, this was the introduction. Now what will be the conclusion? Since the question is on geographical feature and natural hazards, so the obvious conclusion will be the solutions. That what all solutions you can provide to deal with the natural hazards, and what all solutions you can provide to ensure the inclusive development of long coastline. Because see, the question is asking about the coastline, but the question is also asking about the natural hazard preparedness. That means the some of the coastlines are in danger. So that's why you have to provide the solution for the inclusive development of coastline. Okay, so this will be the basic structure of your answer. Now, let's discuss briefly what all you have to write. So first of all, discussing the resource potential. So as we have already discussed, resource potential means the capacity of Indian coastline to produce certain resources at present, means in present condition or in the future. See, this question is very good example of combination of three subjects, that is geography, environment and disaster management. So it is a lesson for you that whenever you read geography, don't read in isolation, don't read these subjects in isolation, you have to combine them. Whenever you read any geographical phenomena, so study its environmental impacts also, and study the natural hazard preparedness also. Because no, previously also UPSC has asked some questions, like question on cloud burst or tsunami. So UPSC asked one phenomena, and then you have to write about the natural hazard preparedness or impact on the environment. So this is a very good lesson, that you have to read the subject not in isolation but together. Now, second important thing is that since this question is on the coastline of India, so coastline of India is one of the geographical feature, right? Other geographical features are the mountainous regions, the plateau regions, these all. So it is one of the geographical region. Now please read one of the question of 2025 GS paper 1. It was asking about the non-farm primary activities, and you have to relate those activities with the geographical physiographic divisions of the India, physiographic features. Okay, so you can answer that question only when you can relate the resources with the physiographic or the geographical region of India. You can write that answer only then, because if you have idea of resources of any physiographic region, then you can say that because of these resources, these non-farm activities are prevalent in these regions. So what is the lesson here? That you have to read all the physiographic and geographical divisions of India. You have to read about its resource potential, that what all resources can be available here. Then you can go on writing about the human activities. So see, same thing is happening here. If you know, so it is asking about the coastline. Okay. Next year you can ask, UPSC can ask about the plateau region, or next year UPSC can ask about the hilly and mountainous regions. So if you are well aware that in this physiographic region, these all resources are available, then you can go on writing your answer. Right. So two lessons you have. First, you have to read these three subjects together, and second lesson is you have to study all the physiographic divisions, all the geographical divisions of India. So let's discuss in brief. So see, these are the coastlines, right? These are the coastlines of the India. This is the plateau region. This is the desert region. These are the northern plains, and these are the mountainous regions. So broadly, we have discussed the physiographic divisions, and every physiographic division has its own resources. Okay, so this was discussion in general. Now let's discuss our answer about the resource potential. So first of all, I will talk about the locational aspect, because it is very important. So I will draw a simple coastline of India. Okay, so see, these are Western Ghats, these are Eastern Ghats, this is Arabian Sea, this is Bay of Bengal, and these two Ghats meet at Nilgiris. Now, this is Western Coastal Plain, and this is Eastern Coastal Plain. And now you have to write the resource potential of these two plains. So let's discuss in general that what all resources can be available in any coastal region. Okay. So first of all, very obvious, it will be the fishing resources. Second will be the energy resources. Why I am saying energy resources? See, you can talk about the tidal energy, you can talk about the offshore wind energy, these all things. You can talk about the wave energy. Also, you know that no thorium is available on Indian coast. So thorium also you can talk about. Talking about the resource potential, so you can talk about the export potential also, because Indian coastline have ports. So these all things you can easily write. And here you can discuss about the oil. Why I am saying oil? Because as you already know that oil is present in the stratigraphic traps. So here will be oil, here will be gas, and here KG Basin is very well known for these oil and gas reserves. So this will be your overall discussion on the resource potential. So see, this was a very general discussion, but if you want to make very specific map, so you can it will be very good discussion that you can point out the areas and resources, particular resources of those areas. For example, here you can write about the tidal or wave energy. Okay, here you can write about the port's potential. You can write about JNPT port. In Tamil Nadu, you can talk about the pearl farming. In KG Basin, you can talk about oil or natural gas. Here, you can talk about the fishing industry. Here, you can talk about thorium. So see, with very simple knowledge, you have given the locational aspect. So this will be all for the resource potential. Now, coming to the status of natural hazard preparedness. So see, as we have already discussed that in status, you will write all the efforts taken, but then you have to mention the gaps also, that these all gaps are present. So in status, what all you will write? You will write National Disaster Management Act. Okay, then you will write National Disaster Response Force. These all things you will write. You can write about the early warning systems. And what all you can write? You can write about the international collaborations of India. For example, you can talk about IORA. So these all things you can write about the status. But in the gaps you will mention that even after taking these steps, still coastal communities are facing the hazard of these natural disasters. And the small fishing communities are not well aware about the steps taken by the government. And still rapid and unplanned urbanization is happening, which is leading to some of the urban floods and all these things. So these all gaps you can write. And finally, you can conclude with the solution that we have to do the development, but it must be sustainable and responsible. So I think in this manner you can write your answer. So now please pause the video for 7 minutes, write your answer, and then we shall be discussing answer in brief. So let's start. So I have started with the length of India's coastline, which is around 7,500 kilometers. Okay, and as I have mentioned that you can mention about the resources also in brief. So this long coastline is rich in natural, economic, and strategic resources. However, it is vulnerable to natural hazards. So what all is given in question, I have described those things only. Now, coming to the resource potentials. So, first of all, very obvious will be the marine resources. So, you can write about the fisheries, about the brackish water aquaculture. Okay, and you can do two things. Either you can describe all these things and you can write the region. But if you want to save your time, you can just make a map, as I have already discussed. You can write the regions here and no need to write here again. You can just write the resources. Now, coming to the mineral wealth, as I have already discussed about the thorium, about the oil, natural gas, these all things. Now, coming to the trade and port economy. So, because of trade and port economy, we have export potential, large export potential of India. Now, coming to the tourism and cultural resources. So, here what you can discuss about the coastal tourism, like Goa or backwaters of Kerala, these all regions. Coming to the renewable energy potential, we have already discussed about the offshore wind energy, about the tidal energy, wave energy. So, these all things you can discuss here. Now coming to the blue economy, so blue economy, basically focuses on all these things, like focus on fisheries, tourism, biotechnology, all these things. So these 4-5 points are enough, for the resource potential. Now, coming to the status of natural hazard preparedness. So first of all, you will write that what all natural hazards are being faced by the coastline of India. So what will be the hazards? Like cyclones, like tsunami, okay, or coastal erosion, sea level rise, these all things. So what are the solutions or the steps taken? So first of all, institutional. So institutional, we can discuss about the National Disaster Management Act and the authorities established under the act. Then about the early warning system, and inquiries is very important thing. So in inquiries in Hyderabad, please mention this under the disaster preparedness. Now coming to infrastructure and capacity building. So in infrastructure capacity building, you can talk about the cyclone shelters, embankments, these all things. Now coming to the community participation, where you have to train the community to deal with the disasters. So here you can talk about the mock drills which are undertaken by the National Disaster Response Force, or for that matter some of the NGOs are also taking these activities to boost the confidence. And in the legal framework, obviously this act is very important. Okay, and as we have already discussed about the international cooperation, so here you can write about the BIMSTEC, IORA, all these things. So these are the natural hazard preparedness. But now you will mention that there are some of the persistent gaps also, because if there are no gaps, then there won't be any loss of life or property, but still it is happening. So you will mention some of the persisting gaps also, that there is unplanned urbanization. Okay, there is degradation of mangroves, because mangroves help to deal with the hazards like tsunamis and cyclones. So there is persistent degradation of mangroves. So all these things you can discuss. Now coming to the conclusion, so what you will write in conclusion, that India's coastline is both an economic asset also, but an environmental challenge also. So we have to leverage the potential, but we have to ensure that the development is in the sustainable manner. Okay, so leveraging its potential through sustainable blue economy models while investing in climate resilient infrastructure. So you have to do the development also in those regions, but you have to ensure that development is inclusive of the communities. Okay, so in this way, we discussed all the things. We have provided a very good introduction. Then we discussed about the resource potential. We have provided the locational aspect. Then we discussed what is the status. So whether the status is good, and if it is good, what are the some of the gaps. And finally, conclusion, we have provided the solution. So that's all for this question. Thank you.